Yeah. Dr. James. JC. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and wow, everybody know what it is today. It's Wednesday, 360-degree health, and as you know, we got Dr. Michael Mantell back with us today. I'm excited about the show that we got coming up, and I tell you, it's gonna be a great one. It's gonna be a great one. How you doing, Doc? Oh, I guess the studio is having problems for real. So I hope you guys can hear me. That's a major echo.
I hope they're not stressing out about it. But if they are, this would be a good show for them to listen to today.
Absolutely. But I heard that echo in the background. So I tell you, how you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing?
I'm doing good. And great topic today. Great guest. Love having her back. And this is a really important topic.
It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great one. Hey, Todd, Kevin, are you guys there? I heard a major echo in the background. Just want to make sure we're ready. Okay. I guess it's time for us to get started. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
There they are.
Ooh, that's bad. That's real bad. Hello? Okay, I'll tell you what, let's try that again at the radio station, lock all the platforms in. And we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We got a guest that's been here a couple of times. I'm delighted to have her back. We got Dr. Michael Mantell, as always come up with the best guests on earth. And we got Dr. Michelle here today. And this guest, I'm not going to give it away, Michelle. I know that's you. But hey, Dr. Mike, how you doing today?
Doing very well. And I'm just calm as can be, knowing that the guest we have today is one of the leading experts in the country, especially right now, with all that we're seeing with weather and everything else. This topic is spot on, pinpoint on the target. We couldn't come up with a better topic.
You know, I tell you what, this is certainly a time to be talking about this topic right here, due to a lot of things that are going on in current events. And I know that this fantastic guest is going to bring some enlightenment on that we don't always have to stress out about everything. It's up to the individual. So I'm excited about that. How you doing, Dr. Cooley?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I think we're all set for the radio station right now. We're getting some messages in, but I am really excited.
Hey, Kevin. I thought I was reverbing doing a rap section or something like that.
It sounds great on the radio.
Great.
We good to go. But hey, I'm excited about the show today. Michelle, can you please introduce the topic of the show, the title of the show, and introduce this absolutely magnificent guest?
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is 360-Degree Health. Feeling stressed is optional. So amazing Dr. James J.C. Cooley and our co-host, Dr. Michael Mantell. They're having a conversation with Dr. Robyn Tiger. She's a double board certified physician in diagnostic radiology and lifestyle medicine, founder of the physician wellness practice StressFreeMD. She's a speaker, CME Program Creator, author, and physician well-being coach podcaster. She's going to talk about the topic and the title of her book, Feeling Stress is Optional. She's going to discuss wellness and stress management, implementing stress relief tools. Wow, she uniquely combines her expertise in medicine, yoga therapy, meditation, and life coaching to teach others a whole person approach to relieve stress while increasing both lifespan and health span. Her innovative trauma-informed coaching courses, presentations, retreats, podcasts, and books focus on creating effective behavior changes in the key topics of stress relief, nutrition, exercise, sleep, social connection, and so much more. So please welcome back to the show, Dr. Robyn Tiger.
Welcome.
Wow. So warm. What a warm welcome. Thank you so much.
There's some audience out there said they didn't get a chance. Dr. Tiger, it's an absolute pleasure having you back on the show. We had so much fun. I think you was on about a couple of months ago. Had so much fun when you was here last time, and the education that you gave us all, our audience, our listeners, was fantastic. And I think that we have to talk about this because the topic that we're talking about, and I know many people are stressed out, and a lot of it is self-inflicted. Because you talk about in your new book, what you're going to talk about is it's optional. It's optional. So before we even get started with that, can you tell our audience and listeners a little bit more about you in case they missed the last show that you was on? Dr. Mike and I already know that you're fantastic. Can you tell them a little bit more about you? Where you grew up, what make you click, and what's your passion and why you're so passionate about what you do?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you again for having me back in that really, really warm welcome. It just feels so good being back here, and everything that you do is what I'm so aligned with as well, and really just elevating the health and well-being of others. And so I grew up originally in Pennsylvania, suburbs of Philadelphia, and then lived in New Jersey for many years, and now I reside in Asheville, North Carolina. And so, as you alluded to at the time of our chat today, well, there was a really big hurricane. So pulling out these stress relief tools, the time of this hurricane was really, really helpful for myself, my family, my clients, and everybody else that I've had the privilege of supporting. And why am I so passionate about this? Well, stress is America's #1 health problem. And as a lifestyle medicine physician, as well as a trauma-informed mind-body expert, I really, really am deeply passionate about helping others both prevent as well as relieve the stress in their lives.
That sounds fantastic. We are so aligned. This is going to be a great conversation. And I like the way Michelle put it earlier before we went on. This is not an interview. This is a conversation. So, Robyn, let's start with having you tell us a little bit about the core premise behind your fantastic, timely new book, feeling stress is optional?
Yeah, so stress happens internally, externally, meaning there are things that happen in our life. There's a hurricane, there's someone says something to you, there's stuff going on immediately in your environment or around you. And then stress happens from things that happen inside, mostly thoughts, whether they're conscious, you're aware of them, or subconscious, thoughts that you're not aware of. So it isn't that we can prevent stressful situations from happening in our lives. What we can do is actually decrease or prevent feeling stress. So that's why the title of the book is called Feeling Stressed is Optional, because in every situation, we have the power, we are in control of how we're feeling when we implement really effective stress relieving tools.
People have all kinds of misconceptions about stress. What are some of the misconceptions that you bump into with your clients, patients, other people? What are the readers going to learn about misconceptions about stress?
Yeah, the most common misconceptions I hear, Michael, are that you just have to deal with it, that it's part of life. People are made to feel guilty about complaining about it, speaking up about it, whether it be their own thoughts about it, like just put your big girl or big boy pants on and deal with it, or what other people say. And I can tell you that in the medical field, basically people say, well, this is what you signed up for,
Mm.
so who are you to complain? Who are you to say anything about it? And there's a lot of shame involved in sharing how you're feeling, or there's shame involved in actually having those feelings of being stressed. And so I think that probably is the most common misconception that I hear, is that it's normal and you should just deal with it and you shouldn't complain about it.
Mm. And a lot of people think stress comes from the outside, whether it's the echo that we hear in the radio, the traffic, the hurricanes, or whatever it might be. These are indeed challenging, sandpapering events. And your point in feeling stress is optional seems to be that the way we think about these things is key to whether we feel stress or not. Not that those events aren't real. They're real and they're bad. But we don't have to suffer more based on the way we think and then ultimately feel. Would that summarize a bit about what your thinking is?
Yes, exactly. So what we understand from cognitive behavioral therapy and theory is that our thoughts create our feelings and our emotions. It's not the situation, but it's our thought about the situation that drives how we feel, that drives the emotions that we have. And we use the words emotions and feelings lots of times synonymously, but what it is that the feeling is what we call the somatic expression of the emotion. So if the emotion is angry, for example, the feeling may be feeling hot, maybe there's palpitations, maybe there's shaking, and so on. So whatever it is, it's coming from the words our brains tell us, which are our thoughts, which may be true or not. And those thoughts really are driving how we're feeling and the emotions that we experience.
Wow. I tell you what, this has already started out to be absolutely fantastic, but we got to take a station break. And I tell you, we're going to take a station break and we're going to come back and we're going to pick it up because there's so much that we're going to talk about today. And Dr. Robyn, you already know she done got started there. I can see the wrinkles and I'm talking about the smile wrinkles that, hey, I got so much to share with you. So if you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you watch us on, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And as you know, the co-host, Dr. Michael Mantell, absolutely fantastic doctor, guy, everything. Fantastic guy. And you know what? He done did it again. He brought Dr. Robyn Tiger back on the show. And I am so excited about this because she already started. I saw when she started talking about stress, I saw that it just popped on her face, enthusiastically smiling. And I tell you, we got a lot more coming your way. So if you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether it's E360 TV, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or over 68 live platforms, welcome to the show. If you want to call in and be part of it, all you have to do is pick up the phone. Dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Hey, Dr. Robyn, I'm so excited about this, and you already led off with it. Can you explain to our viewers and our listeners why it's so important to learn how to cope with stress and add those tools in your everyday life?
Yeah, so up to 90% of all symptoms that you experience are directly caused by stress. Up to 90%. The research says 70 to 90% of all of your symptoms that you go to your healthcare professional about, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your PA, and so on, are related to stress. And so think about it. Think about some of these things as I describe them to you. Maybe you'll recognize when you're stressed, feeling palpitations. That's like when your heart's beating out of your chest. Reflux, when you have that burning chest pain. Some people call it heartburn. Maybe you're sweating or your muscles feel tight. It can affect you not being able to sleep and making you feel exhausted. Maybe you're someone that affects your GI system. So you could have diarrhea or constipation. It can cause headaches, all types of headaches, including migraine headaches. For some, it causes other symptoms like reactivity, where you might say something you wish you could take back, or you do something you wish you could take back. There's so many symptoms that stress causes. And we don't realize lots of times that that's what it is. It's just stress, which is coming from the thoughts our brain's offering us. And you might be saying, well, so what? I've dealt with it this long. I can handle all those symptoms you described and more. But the thing is that we understand that it's the health effects that we really need to be concerned about. So stress actually directly causes the most common illnesses that we have in the world. Diabetes type 2, high blood pressure, also called hypertension, heart attacks, stroke. It causes cancer progression and growth. It leads to dementia, which is not being able to have a strong memory. And it's actually been linked to and directly causes decreased longevity, which means you live a shorter life. It takes years off your life. So it's one thing that we start to appreciate all the symptoms that we have. But the second thing is, wow, it causes all of these illnesses and more.
Wow. I just have a question, Dr. Tiger. Can stress cause paranoia or confusion as far as decision making, things that you normally do? You're so, I guess, bogged down emotionally and mentally that you're not able to rationally make a decision, or maybe paranoid or oversensitive about certain things. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we have all that stress on board, we can't possibly think straight. And we have 60,000 thoughts per day, most of them not so nice at all. And many of them are on repeat, right? They recur, those not so nice thoughts. And so it's very, very hard to have your critical thinking, your ability to make important decisions when you're feeling stressed, when you have all those stress hormones, the cortisol, the catecholamines floating around, causing havoc on your body and your mind.
I'm curious, the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, which you're very close with, has a whole bunch of content out there for us to help people with dealing with stress, for example, and general health. Tell us some of the tips that the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and your book, Feeling Stress is Optional, might bring to people as practical tools to begin to dismantle feeling stress.
Yeah. So, as a board certified lifestyle medicine physician, this is very close to my heart. And I have the honor of serving as lead faculty and subject matter expert in stress management for the American College of Lifestyle Medicine board review. So, I actually wrote the chapter on emotional mental health and well being for the board review manual. And it's really important to understand that stress has this bidirectionality with the other pillars of lifestyle medicine. So, in lifestyle medicine, we focus on prevention, reversal, and sometimes treatment of diseases by behavior choices. And those include stress management, healthful nutrition, exercise, sleep, social connection, and avoiding risky substances. And I add escapes, those things that you do to not feel what you don't want to feel, and that sometimes can be very dangerous for your health. And so, what we understand when we look through stress through that lifestyle medicine lens is that stress directly affects the behavior choices you make in terms of the food that you're eating, whether you're exercising correctly, if you're getting enough sleep, if you're connecting with others, if you're reaching for risky substances, if you are choosing to escape. And so when we recognize that, when we are able to decrease and eliminate the feelings of stress when it comes on board, we are much more likely to make really healthful choices, choosing whole foods, lots of plants on your plate, getting a nourishing sleep, moving our body in a way that really is good for ourselves, strength and cardiovascular training, connecting with other people. That connection piece is so, so important for our health and well-being, avoiding risky substances, and so on. So there's this direct relationship that we understand through lifestyle medicine between stress and the other pillars. And that is really the basis of Feeling Stress is Optional, the book.
Wow. I can't wait to read the book. But just looking and doing some of the researches that we have, and you talk about holistic approaches and all different type of facets to help eliminate or cope with stress. Which one of those do you find people most gravitate toward that most people feel comfortable with?
I think it's what people know the most of. So people are most familiar with wanting some tools to relieve their stress. So if they come to me and they know that I'm certified in yoga therapy, meditation, they're coming for those particular tools or life coaching. So maybe it's calming breathing, it's calming movement, it's guided meditation, it's working with thoughts. But what people don't realize is that they can actually decrease their stress and anxiety also by using other tools, by choosing healthful foods. So what we know is that when you're eating foods that are high in added sugar and chemicals and saturated fats, that causes you to feel stressed and anxious and depressed. And when you eat whole plants, lots of fruits and veggies and legumes, nuts and seeds and grains, it actually makes you feel better, calm and in control and balanced. So a really important tool that people don't know about is what you put in your mouth is important, that food creates mood. And then understanding the power of exercise. People don't know that moving your body actually helps to relieve your stress, that getting enough sleep decreases the stress hormone cortisol and helps you feel calmer, that being with other people can really, really help your mood and help you feel calmer, and so on. And so the most common thing I get asked is for the specific tools, breathing, movement, meditation, and so on, which are direct tools, amazing tools. But it's the indirect tools that people don't realize that they can help themselves with as well, which is food and movement and sleep and connection and so on.
I hope people have been taking notes. JC, we're going to take a break, but that list was incredible.
That list is so incredible, and we need to come back and talk about it a little bit more. So I tell you what, I hope that you are enjoying this discussion, not an interview, discussion just as well as Dr. Mike and I. And if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, Dr. Robyn will get you an answer. Dr. Mike will get you an answer. And I'll try to get you an answer. But we're going to get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza. Cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings. Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Country.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Generosity will assist us in making a difference in the life.
Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and today we're talking, as you already know, it's 306 Degrees Health with my main man, Dr. Michael Mantell, and our absolutely fantastic guest, Dr. Robyn. And it's another home run already because we are learning so much from what she is discussing with us. And plus, she got a brand new book, just released a brand new book that you got to go and get. And I tell you what, before I even go any further, Dr. Robyn, can you tell our viewers and listeners, where can they get your book?
Oh, I'd love to. They can get Feeling Stress is Optional on Amazon, as well as on my website at StressFreeMD.net.
Wow. Hey, you know what? You can count me and Michelle in today. We're going to get it because, again, just like I mentioned, we all experience stress in so many different types of ways. And as we discussed earlier when the show began, you said, hey, we know stress is out there. Hurricanes all over and all type of crazy stuff going on right now. And many people need help. And your book, I think, would bring them a lot of incitement, a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on certain ways to cope with stress because, as you said, it's optional. It's optional. So I'll tell you what, wherever you're watching us at, on whichever of the 68 platforms, if you want to be part of the conversation, go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Or pick up the phone. Call Kevin. Call Kevin at KCBQ AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1. And I tell you, AM 1170, FM 96.1. And he will put you through. One quick question before I turn it back over to Dr. Michael Mantell. Dr. Robyn, what roles do nature play? Visualization, singing, counting, backwards, hugging, playing, reduce. I mean, how does all these different things help reduce stress?
Yeah, well, let's start with nature. So many years ago, Hippocrates said, if you're in a bad mood, go for a walk. And if you're still in a bad mood, go for another walk. And so he was a very wise man thousands of years ago to say that. And we now understand the science behind that is that nature truly is medicine. And when we get outside in nature, we have that stress hormone we talked about earlier, cortisol, drop down. It decreases. So being outside decreases the stress hormone, decreases our feeling of stress. It also decreases depression and improves mood. So being outside is really, really good for our stress relief, for our anxiety relief, and for boosting our mood. It's also really good just for our immune system. So research shows that natural killer cells, these are really important cells in our immune system, are increased in number when we're outside. So that helps to get rid of all the bad stuff in our body that can cause illness and disease. So being outside is really, really helpful for that as well. And we spend way too much time inside. So we don't normally think about nature as being a really good tool for our stress relief and our health. But research shows that over 90% of the time is spent inside buildings, inside cars, or other forms of transportation. And that we spend maybe 6-7% of our time outdoors. So going back to Hippocrates, if you're in a bad mood, go for a walk. And if you're still in a bad mood, go for another walk. And I use that a lot when I am feeling stressed and anxious, to get outside, to clear my mind, and to feel better. So that's a really, really important tool. And then you asked about singing, counting backwards, and so on. So when we vocalize or create sound, it can allow us to feel calmer. You may notice that when you're humming, when you're singing, if you chant, you may notice that it feels calmer when you do that. And that's because creating sound activates a very important nerve in the calming part of our nervous system. It's called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, or nerve that goes from our brain all the way through our body. And when we sing or hum, that nerve is actually activated. It partially is responsible for your voice, and it also travels in your neck, and it senses the vibration of sound. So singing, humming, chanting, and so on can really allow you to feel calmer. Counting backwards, you mentioned that. So really giving ourselves something to think about helps to bring us out of our mind when we're thinking those other thoughts, and bring us back into our sense of calm when we can focus on something else like counting. And sometimes I actually include that in combination with breath. And hugging yourself. You're saying, oh, well, giving yourself some self-love. Self-love isn't selfish ever. And this is actually really interesting. When you hug yourself, when you are actually touching your body with your hands, it can actually allow you to feel calmer, particularly when you pay attention to the sensation of the feeling of your hands on your arms, and your arms touching your hands. And that's because your hands take up a large portion of your brain. So when we focus on using parts of our body in our tools, and we focus on the sensation of those parts of the body, such as a hug, we can feel calmer much more quickly. So lots of great ways here that you mentioned for relieving stress.
Amazing. These are all wonderful ways to connect the mind and the body, and to calm ourselves, to self-soothe. Let me ask you a little bit about this. People will ask me the question, well, isn't some stress good for you? And we talk about eustress, or good, quote unquote, good stress or bad stress. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so you're right, Michael, that there are different types of stress. And so there are 3 main types of stress. The first one you mentioned is called eustress. That's eustress, eustress. And that's the good stress. That's the falling in love feeling of stress. That's the getting excited to come on this show with you stress, right? So that's eustress, and that's good stress. And that's the stress that helps you get in the flow when you're doing a project and so on. And then there's new stress. That's neutral, NEU stress. And that's like when you hear about something happening maybe really far away, and you know that it's not a good thing, but it's not directly impacting you and your ability to function. And then we have distress, DIS stress, DISTRESS. And so distress that's the stress we call the bad stress. That's the stress that we've been discussing so far on the show. That's the stress that we have to really worry about and be concerned about in creating all those symptoms, ultimately leading to illness and disease.
And when we talk about, I think when people use the term stress, very often they are thinking about distress. And, their mindset is focused on everything that's wrong. Sometimes a simple shift in mindset. And I say simple, it's not so simple to do, but that shift from, is there another way to think about this? Yes, I'm in traffic. Okay, but is there another way to think about this? I have a lot of studying and preparing to do for a talk I'm giving, but is there another way to think about this? So let's get into a little bit about mindset shifting and how we can change the way we think about these sandpapering events in our life. Tell us how you share that in Feeling Stress is Optional.
Yeah, so I love this conversation. It's so true. And it comes back to what we were talking about before, the power of your thoughts, right? And that our thoughts are creating our feelings and emotions. And we recognize that we can get in the driver's seat of our life. So when things come up like the hurricane, right? And having to evacuate, since we've been talking about that earlier, what I like to ask myself and what I encourage all of you to ask yourself is, what's going right? What's going right? In this very moment, what's going right? Because our default mechanism in our brain, meaning the thoughts that our brain goes to immediately, are the thoughts that don't serve us. Those are the negative thoughts, the thoughts that are harmful, the thoughts that are frequently on repeat. Remember, 60,000 of them per day, most of them not so nice. So I invite you to ask yourself, whenever you need to, as many times as you need to throughout the day, what's going right? And notice what you come up with. And that also helps to increase those good feeling hormones, dopamine and serotonin in your brain, so that you can feel better. Amidst the chaos, you can feel better.
Wow. How can all of these techniques and things that you were talking about are so important? What would you tell the viewers out there that's listening right now that's saying, hey, I don't know if this is going to work for me because, it's too complicated, or I'm not ready for this. We got like a minute and a half before the break. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I would say that's a thought. This is too complicated. This is too hard for me. That's a thought. You see what your brain just did there, right? So your brain offered you words that don't serve you. So what would serve you better? Someone's handing this to me on a platter and saying, here, this is what you need to do. This is made easy for me. I can do this. Other people have done this. It's not hard. Things like that, right? So recognizing when your brain's offering you a thought and saying, that's just a thought. That's not true. And then changing that.
Well, I love that. We're going to take a station break. But Dr. Mike, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get back so we can continue to get educated and also learn all of these techniques, and also to be able to better cope with stress, because it's optional, just like what Dr. Robyn was talking about. And I tell you, our viewers out there, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you do, just go to the platform that you're watching this on. Ask any questions that you might have. I can promise you now we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Creating a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023. Unified Brain Z and the other organizations, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and for those of you that are probably just not tuning in, wow, you done missed a masterpiece. I'm telling you, masterpiece. But we still got more. We still got more coming your way. And I tell you what, you can be part of this by whichever platform you're watching us on. All you do is go to the comments, ask any question you might have, or pick up the phone and dial Kevin at KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1, San Diego. And he will patch you through, and we will get you whatever answer that you might want. You know, so I want to get back to it because I think we got about 9 minutes left in the show, Dr. Mike. And, you know, so Dr. Robyn, how do you see the future of stress management / prevention evolving, especially with the advancing technology, like AI, all of these different type of technologies that taking over the world?
Yeah, I am very excited about all this technology. I have to say, because, back in the day, it was just me in person teaching classes, teaching workshops, teaching lectures, and so on. And because of technology, I've been able to expand my reach nationally and internationally in so many ways. So first, it was learning about this thing called Zoom, which a lot of us learned about during the pandemic, right? And then we have platforms like we're on right now, being able to podcast, YouTube, StreamYard, and so on. So what else? Well, online digital content. So some people like to learn through online self-paced programs and being able to have online streaming content and created programs like that. In terms of the book, how is the book related to technology? Well, I included over 20 short videos. They're about 5 minutes each throughout the book. So being able to have the technology of QR codes that you can scan to take you to a video so that you can practice tools along with me. So exciting. So I see so many ways the technology has been really, really helpful. People love apps. They're using apps and so on. So it's been an unbelievable last several 5 to 10 years in transforming the way that we consume information so that we can help as many people as possible.
Wellness devices, our watches and all that tell us about our heart rate, our beats per minute. Mine right now says 67 beats per minute. Not bad. In the middle of the show. We get all this amazing feedback, how we sleep and so forth. So there's no doubt that this is going to give people more and more sense of control. Let me ask you this. We can go on forever about eating well and socialization and not risky substances, blah, 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 forever, exercise. When people say to you, but Dr. Tiger, yeah, I tried all that, doesn't work. Just give me a pill. What role does pharmaceuticals have in helping people with stress?
So, Michael, I am a Western medicine trained physician.
Yes, you are. That's why I'm asking.
I do believe in medication. But what I've come to understand is we go back to that statistic that up to 90% of symptoms that people are experiencing are related to stress, right? And stress and anxiety is so prevalent. We do like to try and utilize the root cause. What is causing this? What is the root cause? Medication does have its place and time. And that should be determined specifically through the patient and their clinician, right? And their physician. So sometimes medication does need to be in place, and sometimes it's in place alongside practicing tools. But I've been really excited to see that people are coming off of their medication or decrease the amount of medication needed when they start to implement tools. So it's really a very personal decision between the individual and their physician. But I would love, love, love for people to start getting to the root cause of what's going on and to try to implement other tools to relieve that stress, knowing that medication is always there if they should need it.
I like to urge people to understand that if the first thing your physician tells you is, here's a tranquilizer, come back in 3 weeks, let's adjust up and down, add, subtract, whatever, please run as fast as you can. The running will help calm your stress. But the physicians who first give medication without all the tools that you are teaching in your phenomenal book, Feeling Stress is Optional, is something we have to be careful about. I'd like to share with you, look, I just shared this with the American Heart Association yesterday here in a talk here, an acronym that I have for stress creation. The iris. The iris opens our eyes, it shuts our eyes. I want to hear what you think about this. I stands for increase our flexible preferential thinking. R stands for reduce our catastrophizing and unbearability. I stands for increase our acceptance of life's challenges and adversities. These things happen every day. And then S, stop self and other depreciating. Don't put yourself down and don't put others down. When you bring flexible thinking, you're not catastrophizing, you're not increasing the sense of unbearability, I can't stand it. When you increase acceptance and when you're not self-depreciating, your stress level is going to go down. What do you think?
I think it's fabulous. And I love that it's iris, which is the eye, which is allowing you to see, giving you that vision, giving you that observer, that observation, and that curious lens also to be able to take a step back and say, what's going on here? And giving yourself that space to really identify what's happening.
Enjoy it. The iris.
You know, we're down to the last 2 minutes of the show. I want you to tell our viewers and listeners again, just in case we got some popped in, where can they get this great book? And how can they get in touch with you and list your services if they need it?
Oh, yeah. I'd love for you to check out the book. It's on Amazon. Feeling Stressed is Optional. And I want you to know that I started writing this book during the pandemic initially to help physician colleagues who I saw were having worsening of their stress and burnout. But recognizing that every single person in the world is having to deal with stress every day, it's written in a way that everybody can understand. So the feedback's been incredible, from 88-year-old needle-pointing grandmothers to college students to soccer moms to the healthcare professionals and so on. So it really is written in a way that everyone can understand. And you can get that on Amazon. There's more information about it on my website at StressFreeMD.net, as well as the other ways that we can work together if you're interested.
Well, Dr. Robyn, you got a standing invitation to the show. Dr. Mike, you already know that. We got to get it back on again. So I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. Dr. Mike, come on, man. You don't hit another home run again.
Thank you. Dr. Tiger is unbelievable, isn't she?
Oh, absolutely. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another fantastic show. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I want everybody to always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember, it's your life. And we'll see you then.